Our next guest says a little trash talk won't hurt anyone, especially when it's all fun and games. Many athletes like Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Larry Bird, and even The Rock have fueled their careers using this technique to their advantage. CEO Tom Austin knows firsthand that a little trash talk can go a long way, and he's here now to tell us how it can be used as a powerful tool. Hi, Tom. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So, first of all, let's talk about what is a core benefit of trash talk.
Yeah, so trash talking, we're living in some really stressful times, and trash talk, number one, it's just fun. And at the group level, trash talk can really help us create what's called psychological trust. And then also the willingness to share ideas and speak up. And so when we engage in trash talk and create a culture where trash talk is used, then we have a culture that has these two core components of kind of a high-performing team or high-performing family. It helps us on an individual level. It really helps us with what's called psychological flexibility and not getting locked in on just kind of one idea.
Okay. So how can we then use trash talk in our personal and professional lives to build some of that motivation and gain more perspective and really ultimately find success? Because there's a lot of challenges that life throws our way.
Yeah, definitely. We're living in challenging, interesting times. So trash talk, we can use it multiple ways. We can look at it as part of this family of motivational self-talk, and we can really find ways to kind of boost our own motivation. If we're working within a community and we create this culture where everyone there's a give and take in a playful trash talk, we can really build this, like I said, psychological trust. And for the last 2 years or so, I've been working on a project called Confidently with some of the best performance psychologists in the country. And we're looking to give people access to these tools of mental fitness training, motivation, optimism, gratitude, resilience, connection, and make these easy and accessible so people have the same access to these tools that high performers have been using for years. But at the end of the day, if these things aren't fun, then we're not really going to do it. We need simple little daily exercises that we can do, but we also need this to be fun. And trash talk is part of what really makes this fun and enjoyable.
Are there any other benefits of trash talk that we haven't mentioned yet?
Yeah, definitely. For individuals, one of the things that happens is when we get really stressed or anxious, and a lot of us are stressed and anxious these days, we get what's called cognitive tunneling, and we get this real tunnel focus. And what that means is that we lock in on just doing and seeing things kind of one way, and we're not able to reframe the situation, and we're overly anxious. And trash talking, because it employs humor as well as metaphor, it's really a way to help us reframe the situation. And it's just one way to kind of keep things loose, and you can use it as well as focus tools like what's important now, and a lot of these focus retraining and attention retraining activities we have at Confidently. But trash talking is definitely something that can help if it's used with humor and with metaphor for us to reframe situations and see multiple paths and stay more creative and not feel so overwhelmed by our first impression or by our anxiety in a situation.
And you mentioned Confidently. So Trash Talk the New Year is a program that you're kicking off the year with. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, definitely. So if people go to our website at getconfidently.com, so GET, then the word confidently.com, that's right, they'll find the Trash Talk the New Year. They can sign up and we'll send a trash talking guide, PDF their way. We'll also have some contest information, and we'll have information on the app that we have in the App Store, as well as some of the apps that are coming out to just help you, keep mental fitness training fun and easy and personal in the new year. Like I said, we work with some of the best sports psychologists for 2 years, including the chief wellness officer at the University of Arizona and the head of performance psychology for the NBA's Toronto Raptors. And we developed a whole bunch of tools, but a big core of our approach is that this stuff has to be fun and interesting, or we're not really going to want to do it on a day-to-day basis.
And you mentioned that trash talk can help us be less attached to specific ideas. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of what happens when we get anxious and stressed, and this has been studied with like airline pilots and accidents and stuff, is this process of really narrowing focus. It's called cognitive tunneling, and the inability to kind of detach from the initial ideas and frames that we have on a problem. So we just keep doing the same things, even if they aren't working. And trash talking is a method that's you're using humor and you're using metaphor, which are two really powerful tools to help us step back from a situation,
Hmm.
not be so attached to our initial ideas, just recognize that these are just like words and labels and that we can reframe the situation. There may be a better path forward. The other thing about trash talk is if we create strong communities around us, communities are really important for resilience and creativity, and groups can achieve a lot more than individuals. And trash talk can be a really powerful tool for kind of connecting communities and building a social connection.
I hear that. Okay, but we've got to admit, sometimes trash talk can go a little too far. It can get personal. So how do you make sure you don't cross that line?
Yeah, definitely. Muhammad Ali mentioned like near the end of his life, he's one of the greatest trash talkers. And one of his biggest regrets was that it was always a game to him that would boost interest and attention. But he trash talked Joe Frazier a lot, and Joe Frazier took it really personally and was hurt by that. And that really bothered Ali. So one of the core things is just to start with our intention. Like, are we trash talking to connect with people, or are we trash talking to try and attack and maybe hurt them or belittle them? So the first thing is our intention. The second thing is the other person receptive to it, right? Like, are they okay with this? Are they going to give
Hmm.
it
Oh,
back?
yeah.
And we also have to make sure that we're really looking at people's strengths as opposed to attacking someone maybe in a point of vulnerability or a weakness or an area that's really sensitive to them. And we have to be willing to let them kind of trash talk us back as well. And I guess a good rule of thumb really is if you're not sure, just trash talk yourself, right? Like as long
Yeah.
as you're talking about yourself, you're talking about areas of strength, and you're using this to kind of keep your ego in check, or you're using it from a place of good intention to try to connect with someone else, and they're receptive to it, and you're okay with them trash talking you back. You're probably on a good path.
Good points. If you're going to dish it, you also got to be able to take it. All right. Thank you so much. For more trash talk, check out getconfidently.com.